My daughter-in-law slapped me in my face in front of everyone. Can you imagine someone demanding your house keys like a criminal? She attacked me for my house keys. A slap I'll never forget. This wasn't just anger. It was betrayal. She crossed every line, showing no respect, no fear. Just pure audacity. The room froze. Family betrayal at its worst. I couldn't believe it was happening in my own home. My heart raced. But I knew I had to stay strong. I couldn't let this go. The shocking confrontation was caught on camera. Watch what I did next. Dramatic pause, slow zoom on clenched hands or steely eyes. This story will leave you speechless. I never expected this from her. But trust me, she's about to regret every moment. To see the jaw-dropping moment. My daughter-in-law slapped me against my cheek. The sound echoed through the living room. My heart dropped like IT never had before. Everyone stood silent, frozen in shock. She held my house keys in her hand, her eyes blazed. With a strange fury, I didn't move. I couldn't move. My breath came in shaky bursts. The room felt smaller, closer, hotter. The lamp flickered over her trembling hands. I could see the rage in every fiber. She demanded, "Again, give me the keys." I felt my mind snap for a moment. I felt every burden of years pressing down. Every sacrifice, every night of silent pain. Every time I let her have her way, all of it crashed like glass round me. I couldn't believe this was my family. I touched my cheek, wiping away tears. She laughed, a harsh, cold sound. The air smelled of fear and perfume. The silence was loud, heavy, oppressive. My son looked away, uneasy, guilty. Their laughter echoed as if mocking me. I remembered the past. Every slight, every time they mocked my efforts. Every time they said I didn't belong. Every time they tried to dim my light. Now IT felt like the final straw. Now IT felt like everything was lost. I took a deep breath and stepped back. Her hand shook, still clutching the keys. I saw the tremble in her fists, the hate she could not hide. She didn't realize I had seen IT all. I had seen her every lie. Every move. My body was still, but my mind ran wild. I wanted to yell, to strike back, but I remained calm, calm with purpose. I knew anger would give her power. I knew silence would force her to reveal herself. Sometimes waiting is more dangerous than acting. The camera flashed. Something her son had pulled out. Suddenly, she noticed IT froze in fear. Her smile faltered. Her fingers tightened on the keys. I saw her hesitate. The first crack in her armor. This was my turn. Silent, but deadly. The house felt like a battleground in waiting. I whispered to myself, harder than I thought, "This ends now, but not like she thinks." She shook her head. Trying to maintain control, I stepped forward slowly, each step heavy. Her eyes widened, and for a second, she paused. That pause held everything I needed to begin. The wind blew through the open window, cooling me. I felt my heart steady, my mind clear. I knew what I had to do, but I couldn't let her see IT yet. Everyone waited, breathing hard, tense. Unsure, the silence before storm, that moment lasted forever. I touched the keys with a finger. Lightly, her hand twitched, angry, impatient, frightened. I smiled softly, not mocking. Just me? That smile made her frown, her control slipping. I could feel the tension thicken, cracking like ice. I knew, deep down, she would regret this night. But the story didn't end here. The house held more secrets, more pain. She didn't know how much I had planned. Every look, every breath, every quiet step was a piece of a larger plan. She thought she was winning. She wasn't. The camera caught everything. Shaking slightly in my hand, the flash of light made her blink, uncertain. And that's when I knew, with certainty, tonight, everything would change forever. The house would never be the same again, and I was ready. To take IT back, she wiped her hands, still clutching the keys, her breath quick, her eyes darting around. I watched quietly, heart beating like drums. The air felt thick, heavy, almost toxic. Every second stretched, pulled, twisted with tension. My son looked down, unable to speak. Her face flushed, not with shame, but rage. "Give them to me," she hissingly demanded. I shook my head slowly, deliberately. My silence made her fumble, heart racing. She gripped the keys tighter, fingers whitening. I knew then. She had realized nothing. The lights flickered again, casting strange shadows. The clock ticked loudly, each second a warning. My mind went back to all her lies, every smile she faked, every word she wove. I remembered her mocking me, disrespecting me, and for a moment, I let myself feel anger. But then I stepped back. Taking control, I knew anger would give her power. I bent down, picking up something light. She watched me, suspicious, tense, breathing hard. My eyes never left hers, calm, sharp. I could see her beginning to sweat. "Nervous. I think you forget something," I whispered. Her lips twitched, trying to smile, failing. Everyone held their breath. Time stretched thin. The camera flashed again, caught her slight flicker, her pause. Her unsureness gave me leverage. This was my house, my rules, my turn. She took a step back, keys still held. Her voice shook, fragile yet forceful. You can't do this to me." I let out a soft T. Quiet laugh, not mocking, just certain, resolute. She hated IT, hated the calm control. The silence was a weapon, thick and sharp. Everyone could feel IT. Breathing heavy, tense. I could hear my own heart. Steady now. Every small movement felt huge. Cinematic, important. The lamp flickered, casting long shadows. She stumbled, feeling trapped, unseen. I stepped closer, calm as a stone. Her fingers trembled on the keys, almost dropping. I didn't reach, didn't touch, only watched. She knew she couldn't win with force. Her pride, her rage, her desperation showed. I had won the first round silently, but she didn't know what I'd planned next. Every look, every breath, every shadow had purpose. The house held secrets she could never see, and I would. Us each, one against her. My heart beat slowly, steady, calculating. I knew she would regret this night soon. The wind whistled through the open window. She shivered, feeling exposed, vulnerable, alone. My son still couldn't look up. Guilty. Her face flushed, eyes hard but unsure. She held the keys like a prisoner. Every move she made was precipitated. Nervous. I touched the keys lightly, gentle, calm. Her hand twitched. Her grip loosened slightly. I smiled, silent, strong, unmoving. The first crack in her armor had appeared. She didn't. No, I had seen everything. I had watched her fall without touching her. And just when she thought she was safe, the door opened slowly behind her. Quiet, a shadow moved, making her jump. Fear. My heart quickened, my eyes sharp. This night would change everything. Forever. And I was ready to take my turn. The shadow lingered behind her, quiet, waiting. Her breath hitched, fingers tightening on the keys. Every second felt like an eternity. Heavy. The wind blew, flickering the lamp again. She turned, and I saw pure fear. Her smile had vanished, replaced with unease. I took a step forward, deliberate, steady. She backed away, still holding the keys. My son couldn't move. Stuck between us, the silence screamed louder than any words. I let my eyes do the talking. They saw everything calm. Control, unmoved strength. "You'd think this is yours?" I whispered softly. Her hand trembled, her fingers clutching tighter. She opened her mouth, but nitrogen monoxide words came. I smiled, quiet, meaningful, unmoved. The camera caught her pause, her slight tremble. Everyone in the room held their breath. I walked slowly, aware of each step. Her eyes followed, anxious, unsure, frightened. The house seemed to close around us. The walls whispered memories of past betrayals. Each creak under my feet felt heavy, loaded. I knew she couldn't hide any longer. She opened her mouth again. Shaky, angry, "You're going to regret this," she snapped. I laughed softly, a quiet, deadly sound. Every word she said made her weaker. I touched the keys lightly, gentle, calm. Her hand twitched, a slight, almost involuntary move. My mind ran through every plan. Every step. I knew exactly how to turn this night. Her pride, her arrogance, her hatred, her fear, all of it worked against her. Silently, every small flicker, every breath, every look was part of a larger, quiet strategy. I could see her begin to crack. Slightly, she dropped her shoulders a fraction, unintentional. The camera flashed again, capturing her fear. The silence was thick, dangerous, unforgiving. Everyone waited, unsure, breathing heavy, tense. And I smiled, knowing I was winning. She tried to lunge forward, hoping to force me. I stepped back, calm, waiting, patient. Her eyes widened, realizing she had nitrogen monoxide control. My son whispered something, but she ignored him. The house seemed to hold its breath with us. Every sound felt loud, every shadow alive. I reached out slowly, touching the keys. Her hand jerked, but she didn't let go. Her face wobbled between anger and fear. I could see the first real cracks of panic. I took a deep breath, calm, resolute. This was my moment, my turn, my power. She backed toward the door, feeling trapped. The camera caught every micro-expression, every flicker. She knew deep down she wasn't winning. And that's when I made my move. Silent, everyone watched, unsure what would happen next. The night held promise of justice, of change. The door clicked, a small S. The door clicked, a small sound, loud in the room. Her breath hitched, fingers clutching desperately. I took a step forward, light but purposeful. The camera flashed again, capturing every micro-expression. She turned, seeing me stand strong, unyielding. She knew, somehow, that tonight would change everything. I held the keys, my hands steady, calm. Her eyes widened, fear and anger colliding. The room felt tight, as if breathing with us. Every creak, every whisper of wind felt loud. The house held secrets she would never guess, and I was ready to use every one. She took a step back, unsure, shaky. My son watched, guilty, unsure how to help. Her pride, her control, slipping through her fingers. Every move she made felt desperate, unfocused. I knew that silence was the sharpest weapon. She didn't realize I had won the first round. I smiled softly, not mocking, just certain. Her face faltered, a flicker of panic showing. The lamp flickered, casting long shadows across the room. Every detail, every sound felt cinematic. Alive, she had no idea what was coming next. Everything she thought she controlled was vanishing. She whirled, trying to force the keys from me. I stepped back, still calm, still strong. Her fists clenched, her breath quick, uneven. Everyone held their breath, unsure of her next move. The camera caught her panic, her desperation, her fear. And I knew, silently, she would regret this night. I walked slowly, closing the distance without touching, every step intentional, waited with purpose. Her eyes flicked to the camera, then to me. Her face showed she understood. She had no choice. My heart beat steady, calculating, ready? This was the turning point. Silent but deadly. I spoke softly, hardly above a whisper. Tonight, everything changes, and you will see. Her hand trembled on the keys. Fading grip, I could see the first cracks of fear. The air pulsated, thick with tension and anticipation. Everyone watched, breathing heavy, unable to look away. She dropped her shoulders, a fraction unintentional. Her confidence fractured, her control slipping. The camera captured everything, unmoved by her fury. I smiled quietly, knowing I was in control. Every flicker, every pause, every look was mine. She didn't know the depth of my plan. My son swallowed hard. Looking between us, I knew he was feeling the weight of it all. Her fury turned to confusion, then hesitation. Every move felt like a game she couldn't win. She had underestimated me, and now it showed, and that was exactly what I needed. The wind whistled through the open window. The room seemed to slow, every sound intense. She knew she had no escape and no control. I held the keys like a silent threat, every eye in the room fixed on us, and I smiled, quietly, knowing the night was mine. But just when she thought IT was over, a shadow moved in the corner, silent, slow. Her breath froze, hands clutching desperately. The house seemed to hold its breath again. Everything she thought she knew was about to change, and I was ready to see IT unfold. The door clicked. A small sound, final. She freezed, hands frozen, keys dropping to the floor. Every eye in the room widened, stunned. I stood tall, calm, unmoving, strong. Her face faltered, regret, panic, shock colliding. She had crossed lines she could never return. My son ran forward, grabbing the keys, breathing hard. I watched, quietly, heart still steady, mind sharp. The silence held a new power, new rules. She stood there alone, defeated, and unmoved. The camera flashed one last time, capturing truth. Every lie she had woven now lay exposed. I took a step closer, firm, calm, quiet. Her eyes met mine, hoping, fearing, pleading. I didn't need to speak. No words required. The power had shifted, the balance restored. Every breath she took felt heavy, regretful, and I knew silence was the strongest answer. I picked up the keys, holding them close. She stared, understanding, and yet still defensive. Every shadow in the room felt alive, witnessing. The air still heavy, filled with unwritten consequences. I turned my son by my side. Quiet. She realized she would never control this house again. The room held a new order. Quiet, steady. Her breath shook, her stance collapsing. Defeated. I walked past, heart steady, mind clear. The night felt heavy, but just right. Every secret she had hoped to hide was known, and the camera would remember. Forever. The truth. My son looked at me, relief in his eyes. I smiled softly, quietly, powerfully. Calm. She shrank back, knowing silence was her only option. Every threat she had hoped to use failed. The house held no room for her lies anymore. And that's when I realized silence is louder than anger. I placed the keys on the table. Deliberate. Every sound echoed, final, permanent, weighty. She turned to leave, her head bowed. Quiet. The night was still, almost sacred. Cinematic, every heartbeat in the room slowed. Relieved. And I knew justice had been served silently. I looked out the window, wind whistling softly. The moon cast a light that felt like truth. Every lesson learned, every betrayal seen. Remembered, she would think twice, others would know, and I would be free. And that's when I realized sometimes silence is the loudest answer. The night ended, cinematic, just, and unforgettable.